Welcome, everybody, to episode 260 of WordPress Weekly for Wednesday, January 18th, 2017. I'm your host, Jeff Chandler, joined by Marcus Couch, who was a very busy man this past weekend.
Yeah, big time. I was at Affiliate Summit in Las Vegas. That was held at the Paris Hotel and Casino.
Sounds fancy.
It was nice. 6,000 people in attendance. Monstrous. Let's go over the WordPress stuff. I gave my session. It was quite a different reaction than I got from the session that I gave at WordCamp Los Angeles, which was almost identical.
And just to recap, what did you talk about? Was it the membership sites?
Yes, it was how to increase affiliate revenue through membership sites. And unfortunately, I had a couple of videos in the presentation that were kind of key builds, so they say in the deck. And I had to cut them out because the video was not playing. They did not embed them within the presentation. So that sort of took a little bit of the air out of it and took a couple of things out of context. And otherwise, I did meet some cool people there. As far as the speech goes itself, I still got pretty good ratings on it, which was great, but I thought it could have gone better.
Right.
Okay, so Bob Dunn was there, and I met Bob, and we had dinner and all of that, and I stole all of his secrets in terms of promotion and just asked him a couple questions on things, and it was just
probably
great.
Gave them to you willingly.
Yeah. No alcohol was involved either, which is great.
Yeah.
Let's see. Also, went to the WP Engine little gathering and was just there for a little bit. And let's see, Saeed Balki was there, and Brian from Web Dev Studios was there. Adam Warner from SiteLock, who we've had on the show before, was there.
All right, so when we did our show about predictions, about somebody's going to create an SEO plugin that's going to blow All-in-One and Yoast out of the water. Now I see this, and now I'm starting to wonder where your prediction came from, or was that before this happened?
I did not know anything about this, and so you're reading the show notes ahead of me here.
That's right.
So it was interesting because I went to the very, very first session was on Saturday, and it was called Networking for Introverts, and that wasn't necessarily me, but I wanted to go there and just kind of get the feel, start to get into it. And I knew that there wouldn't be that many in attendance, and that's a great time to network with the two founders, Sean and Missy, the two that run Affiliate Summit, and that was great. So I was sitting at a table, and a older gentleman and his wife walked in, and they were kind of looking around the room to see where to sit. And I just jumped up and moved my chair over and said, "Please join us at this table." And I introduced myself. I said, "Hi, I'm Marcus Couch," and met Wendy. And then the gentleman said, Bruce Clay. And Bruce Clay is an SEO legend. He is absolutely somebody that I have learned from and look up to. And so that first day, I don't think Bruce really knew who I was. I kind of just hinted, but I didn't really talk a lot about WordPress. We just talked SEO. And the next day, he actually pulled me aside and said, "Hey, you do a lot of WordPress stuff." So I assume he went and looked me up and started telling me about this new SEO plugin. And Bruce charges a lot of money. He charges $1,400 for a couple-day session to learn SEO from him in his program in Southern California. And he gets, I think, 40 people a crack and does it a couple times a month. So he's an expert. And just me talking to him just about SEO at the table on the first day, boy, did he know a lot. And he had some tricks about even things like adding closed captions in videos to make sure you're number one, and just all kinds of cool stuff. And so he said to me, "I'm going to be coming out with a plugin." And I asked him, "Is it going to rival All-in-One SEO or Yoast?" And he said, "It's way better." And he told me why. And that has nothing to do with my prediction whatsoever. I had no idea that this would literally fall before me.
So it turns out that quite possibly your prediction looks like it may come true this year. And it looks like we have lost Marcus. He's completely disconnected. Oh boy. It's going to be one of those kind of days. I know it. Oh, there he is, I think. Maybe. No. And he's gone. I don't know, Marcus, you want to try reconnecting? You could try doing that. We ended up doing a show a little bit later today due to some technical issues, and we're still having them, which is the beauty of technology. So we're just going to sit here and chill for a little bit. So I'll let him reconnect, and then we'll get back into it. And I'll just have to remember to edit the show, to edit this part out, so nobody else has to go through this when they're listening to the show.
Yo,
it's at times like this I wish I had hold music.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry about that, everyone.
All right. So, so it looks like your prediction has a good shot of coming true.
Yes. And we will have him on the show. I asked him if he would agree to come on when this is ready for release and tell us all about it. And he said, absolutely. So notch one up for me in terms of networking bucket list. That was cool.
And I wanted to congratulate Syed Balki, the founder of WPBeginner.com, for winning the Affiliate of the Year award.
We had a WordPress sweep. Not only did Saeed win for Affiliate of the Year at Affiliate Summit, but WordPress WP Engine was named Merchant of the Year.
Nice,
which is great.
And how about I see? I saw a photo of Saeed next to Ric Flair. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, Ric Flair was there. He wasn't standing up, so it was kind of weird. You had to sit next to him at the table to get your photo with him, and he was just signing. He was with this thing called the Hoth. That was the vendor that he was with, and it wasn't the same as when Hulk Hogan was there a couple years ago. They were lined up around the corner of the booths at Affiliate Summit a couple years ago, but this time, if you were, you could. It was maybe 10 deep in terms of the line.
So Hulk Hogan is more popular than Ric Flair.
I would say so, yes. So, let's see what else.
So here's something I think you should mention is we talk about. Well, what did you see with all the floor vendors in the expo and all the wares and things that people were showing? Is there any particular trend you noticed?
Yes, clearly, mobile is the future because all the ad networks are going to mobile. They're even doing the thing where they can charge your phone bill, where you like text a specific number and you can get something shipped to you and all that. A lot of things related to chargebacks, a lot of vitamin stuff. There was even a shaver vendor there that you could actually make your own shavers and put your brand name on them. So maybe a WP Tavern shavers coming to a swag bag near you someday. But that's really what the trend. I'll be honest, I didn't get much out of the conference other than the networking. I didn't go to any sessions, so that's probably one reason. But I mostly just networked, and the people that were on the expo floor, I don't have a direct connection to any of that stuff. There were thousands of people there that did, but just me personally, I didn't.
So one of the things about you going to Affiliate Summit, because it's an entirely different landscape vibe, everything else from a WordCamp. And one of the things I think we may have talked about off the air is, now I'm curious to see how many leads or customers, or if you're doing any consulting on the side from your work that you get from this conference as opposed to maybe a WordCamp. And which, by the way, when you go to a WordCamp, that's not the overall focus or goal is to get clients. But, I know that you've told me before that it's your response and the things, the networking and relationships you establish after something like Affiliate Summit is way different than a WordCamp.
Yes. Interestingly enough, I took questions because I blew through my presentation because I expected a lot of questions and I didn't get any. I got like 2 questions.
Oh man, they're too smart for you.
I know. I don't know what it was, but it just seemed bizarre. It was just crickets. And I don't know if that was good that I blew everybody away or what. And the questions that people asked were way valid. But then when the presentation was over, then the line started. As far as people coming up to me and asking questions.
Wow. Oh, so I wonder if a lot of people were shy or something. I don't know.
I think so. So I tried to answer everybody's question, and it was pretty neat. And I hope that I get some business out of it. I'm totally, I'm spending some money. I have somebody, designer, completely reworking my membership coach site right now, making it a lot more friendly and, better navigational page and things like that. And I'm ready for it. So hopefully it comes. I'll let you know.
Yeah, and we got to get you, get everything on board so you get your book out, Membernomics.
That's right. And I'll hopefully we'll make that into sort of a Pressnomics type of a thing.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. So a good time was had by you at Affiliate Summit.
Yes, I consumed no alcohol. I only lost $7 in
wow.
slot machines.
In Vegas, and you only lost $7. That is willpower, my friend.
Found a Giordano's stuffed pizza hooked right into Bally's where I was staying.
Oh,
so
nice.
We went over there and got some deep dish.
Oh man,
it's great.
All right, so sounds like you had a great time. Let's get into some of the WordPress stuff during the week. And we'll start off by announcing Aaron D. Campbell is replacing Nikolay Bachitsky. I would say that's probably kind of close, as WordPress's security czar. So Aaron Campbell, he's the WordPress core contributor at GoDaddy. He's going to be taking over the role. And the WordPress security czar, it's another name for it is the WordPress core security team lead. So the role was created back in 2015 to provide more structure and focus around incident responses. So some of the responsibilities that this role includes is organizing the security team, making sure that all security concerns and reports get triaged and ultimately fixed, coordinating the security side of WordPress releases, and being the point of contact for any security related things that need one. Now, one of the things that Campbell said he's going to finish what Nikolay started was getting WordPress.org onto HackerOne. HackerOne is the bounty program that Automattic already has an account for WordPress.com and some of its other related services, where if you discover a security vulnerability and you responsibly disclose it to them, you are paid a bounty amount. And there's quite a few security researchers that make a decent living or side income through the HackerOne bounty program, so that's interesting. And they're not quite ready to make the move just yet, but that's something Campbell's going to be working on. And according to the feedback from the post on the Make.Core blog of the announcement, a lot of people are happy, and Campbell seems to be the man for the job, who is no stranger to security. If you actually go on to WordPress.tv, do a search for Aaron Campbell, you'll see that he's talked about security for a number of years. I believe he worked on the iThemes security team. Worked on that product at iThemes before he was hired full-time by GoDaddy to work on WordPress core full-time. So congrats to Aaron Campbell, and we'll see what happens throughout the rest of the year.
I like that idea because he's responsible for a lot of the structural things that happen within security.
Yes.
And with his experience at GoDaddy and the massive amounts of different WordPress installations that they handle, he obviously knows process. And so I think he's perfect for the job.
Yeah, I didn't know this, but there's over 40 or over 50 people now on the WordPress security team. So having someone like at the top, a liaison, somebody that can facilitate the discussion and all the different things and little security aspects that folks are working on in that team is it's good to have someone like Campbell at the top.
Yeah, and so those of you that are out there that are designers or start to pitch clients or things like that, and they argue back at you about security with WordPress, mention the fact that there are over 50 people on the security team, and compare that to any other platform or service that's out there in terms of a website, and I'm sure you'll be met with favorable response.
So Postmatic, they're making a huge move. They have Postmatic. I guess they have a service that's called Postmatic Basic, which they're rebranding as Replyable. So they're moving two-way email commenting to a software as a service product. So eventually, the reason why they're doing this is that they've discovered many users simply wanted email commenting without all the additional features of post delivery and newsletter features. So they're launching this Postmatic, or it's called Replyable, which is a rebranding of Postmatic Basic, and it's going to be $3 a month instead of having to pay $20 for all the other stuff people didn't want. So they've actually kind of looked at the market after a year and decided, we're not hitting the top of the market here with that price point, but because of this price point, we're not hitting the bottom portion of the market. So this gives them an opportunity to satisfy the people who only want a certain number of features for a very affordable amount of $3 per month. And Postmatic apparently has, according to WordPress.org, has about 1,000 active installs, but the founder of the company estimates there are about 8,000 users, including those who are using either the commercial version or the Labs plugin. And one of the things that Jason Lemieux said, he's the founder of the company, he says, "We're not a runaway WordPress success story, but we're alive and loving our jobs." And he says about 6 months ago, it became apparent that we needed to get out of the mid-market. We had a huge group of people saying, "I just want email commenting and we'll totally pay you $5 a month for it." And another group saying, "We pay $6,000 a month sending MailChimp RSS campaigns, but yours are better for only $1,500. So why are you so cheap?" So he actually calls this a frustrating lesson in the reality of knowing your audience and pricing appropriately. So they're also going to be working on their Epic 2 plugin, which is a Disqus alternative. They're also working on a host of other products as well. And we'll have to see how this shakes out. But yeah, there you go. I enjoy, we use Postmatic's products on the Tavern, and I love them. I love Epic. I love the way the email templates are and how you can moderate comments by email. So you never even have to go to the WordPress backend. You just reply, approve, or spam, or you can reply to comments right from your inbox. And yeah, so everything's going pretty good there. So if you just want some of the basic features and don't want to pay $20 a month, now you can do that and only pay $3.
Yeah, that's a good deal. And it's something that I keep turning to this, but if you have clients and you really want to utilize content, then comments is a great way to do it. And especially when it comes to clients and them dealing with a B2B and those kinds of things, it really helps out. So check it out. I'm really glad that they did this, and I think I'm going to try this myself.
And last but not least, SiteGround is auto-issuing Let's Encrypt certificates for every domain hosting on its shared service. The company is also issuing and installing certificates on new accounts automatically after customers register domains or direct new domains to SiteGround's servers. And this also includes add-on domains added in cPanel, and the certificates are auto-renewed as long as the domains are pointing to the host servers. So there you go. So if you're on SiteGround, chances are you're probably, at least if you get a new account on SiteGround, you're going to be SSL by default, which is a good thing. as we try to HTTPS the web or get as much as the web as possible on HTTPS. And this also harkens back to a comment made by Matt Mulloway during the State of the Word, where in this year, any host that's going to be on the WordPress.org recommended hosting page is going to have SSL by default on new sites or new accounts. So there you go. So they're already lined up with that, although they've made the decision. They didn't make the decision to do this specifically about that. They were already in the process of that, but that just kind of reinforced their decision to move this direction. So the next step for SiteGround is actually pre-configuring WordPress installs to use SSL with one click, and we'll see how that turns out, because I know some of the commenters were concerned with, auto install, configuring internal links, and trying to set up the site without customer involvement. It sounds like a pipe dream, but who knows? But congrats, good move on SiteGround's part, and that's just a continuing trend throughout the web as all of the various web hosting providers out there, it's pretty much getting to the point where if you don't offer SSL by default or have an easy way to do it now with Let's Encrypt, you're behind the times. You're not offering something that is pretty much becoming default or standard on most of the other hosting providers.
Yeah, that's true. And hopefully this, it sounds like it's going to save some money in terms of if you were just to go get a domain and then go buy that certificate separately. It sounds like it's a good deal. So check it out.
Yeah, the good thing is Let's Encrypt's free. So,
yeah,
there you go. And then, and also, it's good to remind people that Google, through its Chrome browser, is going to start marking sites insecure in Chrome. And also HTTPS is a ranking signal, and there's all kinds of other little encouraging things to use HTTPS. But the biggest reason really is to encrypt connection between point A and point B. And in the times we live in, through surveillance, privacy, everything else, HTTPS by default is just a way to go. Is the way we're going.
Right. That's true.
Whether we like it or not.
Absolutely. And Jeff, I had a little fun today on the Slack channels for WordPress, and it was fun to go through the files. And today I saw on the WordPress core Slack channel a shared image of the Wix screen. What kind of site do you want to create today? And it makes me wonder if we're getting closer now to actually having a WordPress wizard. Now, this is unconfirmed. It's just a share. It's not a big deal, but it was a fun find on Slack. And then finally, I wanted to bring to attention that you can volunteer to the Make.WordPress marketing group. And this is a fully blown kind of marketing team, all volunteer, that oversees materials that help other people to sell and market WordPress as both a software solution and highlighting the WordPress community. And there's a bunch of subgroups to it, and that includes marketing to the community, marketing to end users, marketing to developers, and marketing to agencies and clients. And there's tons of great ideas that they talk about. Like one of them was a marketing template for local meetups to self-promote themselves, posters, written copy for local community listings and things like that about what WordPress is and does. And it sounds like a really great initiative, and I think I'm going to volunteer to be on this team. So you can check that out at the marketing sub Slack channel or on the Make blog, and we'll put a link to that in the show notes.
Excellent. I did see that you sort of volunteered us to help out with that initiative on the show, which I think we could do. No problem.
Well, and they wanted to get the word spread about specific things. And I don't want to reveal everything, but obviously you could go in there and see what I said. But I basically caught wind of something that they were talking about in today's meeting, which they said they wanted to have kind of a campaign of people giving testimonials. Hey, I'm a developer and I use WordPress because X, right? And those are just reinforcements that they'd like to use to reinforce WordPress as a platform, as a community, all of that.
All right. So It's been a while, but today, since we're back to our regularly scheduled programming, we have some plugin picks.
Yes, sir. The return of plugin picks of the week. And the first one may be a core feature soon. This is called Background Image Cropper, and it adds cropping to background images, just like you have now with header images. For this particular feature, the implementation is really easy, and it is starting out first as a plugin to gauge user interest in this feature and whether this feature improves the user experiences of background images. So if you want to participate in something that may be added to core in the future, this is absolutely one of them. And it'll probably get added absolutely this year, this feature. So check it out now and see what you think of it. It's called Background Image Cropper. And next, if you use WooCommerce, this plugin is for you. Sometimes you set up a store as a test, and then you want to delete everything off the store so you can start fresh. This allows you, with one click, to remove all WooCommerce products from your site, cleans up your database from all the products, their metadata, the relationships to the products, as well as all the product variations that are related to that. So if you kind of want to nuke the store and start afresh, Woo Product Remover may be the plugin for you. And Jeff, one of the things that is kind of common for people is to, after they create a fresh installation of WordPress, you have to go through a couple of different tasks. You have to kill the Hello World post, the example page. You have to change from uncategorized to blog. You have to change the permalink structure. You have to delete Hello Dolly, disable comments, all of that.
You have to remember to turn on SEO awareness, discoverability.
Right. Yep. So this new plugin called WP Tasks After Install does all that. It gets rid of Hello World. It kills Hello Dolly. It disables comments and pings, and deletes the WP config file, the sample file. It kills all of the themes except for the default. It activates a Kismet, and then it destroys itself.
How cool is that?
Yeah. So it does all those things for you with just installing the plugin and letting it run. So
there you go. That sounds like a home run plugin to me. You found a gem there.
It's called WP Tasks After Install, and those feature the return of my plugin picks of the week.
I have a feeling that our listeners are going to, their ears perked up when they heard about this plugin. So can't wait to hear their feedback. And by the way, if you could, please write us a review. Please review us on iTunes. We need to have more reviews this year. So if you could, give us a review, rate us, tell us what you like, what you don't like, and we'll read it on the show. Appreciate that. And before we go, was it last year? Or was it the year before? Because we interviewed I think it was the CEO of Zapier.
Yes.
On the show, and we were talking about how cool it is. Yes. And yesterday, I finally ran into a situation where I needed to use Zapier, and they have an RSS zap, and I used that to talk to a webhook on a Discord server, and I was able to take posts that are published into a BuddyPress group, use the RSS feed from that group to go through the RSS Zape, which talks to the webhook on Discord, so that RSS feed items are published automatically to a specific channel on a Discord server. And it sounds complicated, but it was actually very easy. The thing is, I was doing some Google Foo, and there wasn't really too many guides out there to explain how to do it, and I had to kind of figure it out on my own. I'm glad it's as easy as I didn't think it would be. So I'm going to have to write that up. But using Zapier for that, man, it was cool. It was so easy.
Yeah, and remember the pronunciation, Zapier.
Zapier.
Zapier
what
makes...
call it? Did I call it Zapier?
Zapier. Yeah. Zapier makes you happier.
Zapier makes you happier.
Another thing, I'll tell you what I've been doing with Zapier that is fun is I use it to tell me when somebody's logged in to one of my domains, and it pings me on Slack, and it just says, "Hey, so and so just did this," and then it shows me that notification on my phone with the Slack app.
Nice.
Right.
So you can kind of keep tabs.
Yes, it's very cool. We should get him on the show again and talk about more of the integration stuff that he's doing.
So that's going to do it for this week's edition of WordPress Weekly. You can find the show notes for this episode and all previous episodes at wptavern.com. And you can follow me on Twitter at Jeffro, JEFFR0. And Marcus?
You can follow me on Twitter at Marcus Couch and go to my website, marcuscouch.com.
And until next week, everybody have a safe, enjoyable rest of the week. Have fun during the weekend, and we'll talk to you again next Wednesday afternoon.